Senator McPhedran.
Thank you very much, Your Honour. I rise to speak briefly in support of every amendment to this bill, and I've been asked to bring you a brief message from disability rights experts and some of the community leaders who testified to the SOCI committee. They ask you to support Bill C-22 as amended, and in so doing, stand up for ensuring that no private insurance company can claw back the Canada Disability Benefit from impoverished people with disabilities. Let me offer a different perspective than that of Senator Cotter on this amendment, sharing with you the fact that the Supreme Court of Canada upheld a provision in the Genetic Non-Discrimination Act that prohibited private insurance companies, as a term of their contracts, from certain actions. This amendment to this bill is a similar limitation. Please also bear in mind that private insurance companies in their contracts and plans state that they can set off any government benefit, and that regulations to this Act could not change that. The protection of Canada Disability benefits reaching intended recipients must be in the statute. This is key to the amendment made to this bill by a majority of the members of the SOCI committee. Allow me to offer another reassuring example. Enacted more than 40 years ago, the Merchant Seamen's Compensation Act has a section very similar to what our committee added to Bill C-22, and this provision in the Merchant Seamen's Compensation Act has protected recipients of the compensation from private insurance set-offs or clawbacks for decades without legal challenge. It may also be helpful to share with you this clear interpretation of federal authority from Canada's Dean of Constitutional Law, the late Professor Peter Hogg, and I quote, "The federal parliament may spend or lend its funds to any government or institution or individual it chooses, and it may attach to any grant or loan any condition it chooses, including conditions it could not directly legislate." To continue, disability rights experts are asking you to adopt Bill C-22 as amended, and in doing so, stand up for Cabinet having a reasonable timeline set for passing the regulations that are needed to get the Canada Disability Benefit to impoverished people with disabilities. Stand up for the right to appeal that is now in this bill, and take note of the fact that the amendment secures appeal options in the two most crucial areas of decision-making, eligibility and amount, while also noting that Senator Cotter's concern is addressed by the fact that this amendment in no way constrains development of regulations in consultation with disability rights advocates that could expand the appeal categories. Stand up for ensuring that Cabinet must take into account the additional cost of living with a disability and the intersectional needs of disadvantaged groups when setting the amount of the Canada Disability Benefit. Honourable colleagues, Senators have demonstrated they know the significance of the Canada Disability Benefit and have worked hard to be thorough and efficient. It was promised by the government in 2020, but introduced in the other place almost 2 years later, and then not called again for debate for more than 3 months. Consideration in committee was more focused and timely, and the bill passed third reading on February 2nd of this year. In all, C-22 spent 8 months in the other place. In contrast, the Senate has conducted its own comprehensive study, including more days of second reading debate, and almost double the amount of committee study time in little more than 3 months. The Senate has clearly responded to the pleas for urgent action, and today we can ensure that this bill is returned to the other place, made stronger and clearer with amendments. Honourable Senators, please vote today to approve Bill C-22 with the high-impact, least intrusive amendments in the report to you from the SOCI Committee, based on substantial supporting evidence from experts in the field of disability rights. I wish to close with appreciation to Minister Qualtrough for her dedication and skill as a disability rights expert and parliamentarian, to Senator Cotter for his dedicated sponsorship, to Senator Seidman for her thoughtful contributions as the official critic of this bill, to SOCI Chair, Senator Ratna Omidbar for her deft navigational guidance, to expert assistance from Senate and Library of Parliament staff, and of course, to members of SOCI, but most of all, to every witness and every individual who communicated with senators on this crucial legislative initiative that we are now given the honor and responsibility to return as a strengthened bill to the other place, where all parties have expressed their support for the urgent need for Bill C-22 to proceed. Thank you. Merci. Miigwech.